way that supports the community. So what I'm going to talk about today is a particular method that's been used around the world for engaging citizens, engaging communities. And so the kinds of things I'm going to talk about today could be used for a really large issue, because what I'll be talking about is the City of Edmonton's budget, which is something like $2 billion a year, how to engage citizens in talking about that. Or it could be used for much smaller or smaller scale issues as well. Before I begin, I just wanted to mention that I really would be happy to hear from you after today's session. You know, a key role for universities is to be part of communities. If you contact me and let me know what you've been up to and how you might see working together with the University of Alberta, how that might look, I'd be happy to talk to you. I may not be able to help you directly, but we can certainly talk about possibilities. So with that, let me talk about a little bit about this idea of the democratic deficit. You may have heard of this in the newspaper, on television. What I would suggest is the democratic deficit, it has to do today with something involving a couple of generations, a couple of really influential generations. The Generation X, the younger people, we know that they use technology in a very effective way. They can use more than one technology at a time. They can really manage their lives using technology. They're very informed. Then we have the baby boomers, and I'm maybe on the cusp of that group, with lots of time and experience, and in many cases now, people moving into retirement where they want to continue to contribute this time and experience. So there's this gap between the really busy, informed young people and the mature, experienced people who want to contribute to society. And so governments really have not yet decided how to match the qualities of those two groups. And I think that's what we're seeing with governments struggling to understand, how do we use social media, how do we use these new networks that we see emerging in order to engage citizens in public policy. So what I'm going to talk about today is something called public deliberation. And what I can say about this initially is it's not about a public forum. So it's very different from the idea of simply setting out the coffee urn at the local gym and seeing who turns up on a given evening. That's a wonderful method, and it's got a long tradition in North America, but that's not what we're talking about with public deliberation. Neither is it a polling method where you get kind of top-of-mind opinions from people when you phone them or when you ask them to fill out a questionnaire. Instead, and I have this quotation that is from a couple of colleagues in the U.S., and it's that public deliberation is to weigh carefully both the consequences of various options for action and the views of others. So you see here that we're looking at evidence from more than one source, and we're ensuring that we hear the important perspectives that others bring to the table. And again, I want to link back to what Mayor Taylor talked about this morning. I would say that his community has been successful in accomplishing this. That we've looked at the consequences of various options, and we've listened to what others have to say in a systematic way. Public deliberation is a way of doing that effectively and in a focused way, and in a way that people can see the outcomes immediately. One of the benefits of public deliberation is that learning takes place not only for the participants in the process, but for all citizens. And this is where technology comes in, because all citizens can have a kind of window into public deliberative events, in addition to legislators and our elected representatives. So there can be learning that goes on for them as well. Now, here's a figure that can help you to see why polling methods have certain limits built into them. Think about this question of cell phone masts that are being built all across Alberta. And these cell phone masts have to go somewhere, so the public is often asked whether this is going to be possible to put a cell phone tower in a particular location. So there's two ways you can ask people about this if you're into polling. You can say, are you willing to put this phone mast, this tower, in a place that it gives you better reception? And the answer can be, well, of course, I'd like to have better reception. So the headline can be 90% of people want more phone towers. The other way of framing this question is to ask, would you be prepared to risk your family's health in order to have better mobile phone reception? And then the question might be, definitely not, or I certainly want to find out more about this. So then the answer would be 90% oppose more mobile phone towers. The key here is that regardless of which side of this question you're on, we know that phone towers are likely going to find a place somewhere in our community. So asking questions via polls is going to have a limited effectiveness. And so it doesn't necessarily solve the problem. Now, what I'm going to do is to tell you a little bit about a public deliberative process that we have going in the City of Edmonton. We're actually right in the middle of the Edmonton Citizen Panel. Here's the website for the Edmonton Citizen Panel. You can find it at the City of Edmonton site. And on the right here, you can go and have a look at the webcast. So the first hour and the last hour of each session is being webcast live. So this coming Saturday, if you're up at 9 a.m., you can watch the first hour of the session. And then if you don't manage to get up in the morning, you can watch what's going on in an archived stream. So here's what happened this last Saturday. Show you a little bit of a clip from this.
This is the beginning of our citizen panel for today, a joint project by the City of Edmonton and the University of Alberta. And you know that old expression, the third time's the charm? Well, today is our third session, so I expect everybody will be particularly charming today. I don't have very many introductions.
All right, so that's the view through technology that we provided through broadband, and that's particularly important. And there'd be other ways to do this besides having a video webcast, but we do need to ensure that the learning that occurs in public deliberation events ripples out to the rest of the community and to public representatives, elected representatives. So just giving you some context for the citizen panel. The City of Edmonton is interested in community consultation. You might know that this City of Edmonton is expanding its LRT, its train system, very rapidly. And so you need to involve communities in talking about where the line is going to go and how it's going to be set up and so on. But there's all kinds of issues that the city is involved in community consultation. So that's very important, and all levels of government are concerned with engaging citizens, finding out what people think. Just looking at that last point on this slide, we are required as a democratic society to understand and accommodate the views and wishes of a diverse culture, of many different groups, individuals in our society. But we also expect effective decision making. We also expect our society to move on with decisions and get on with, and I think again, Mayor Taylor talked about, you know, a lot of people want you to focus and simply move on with the program that you have in mind. So there's a tension there between the diverse society and the need to be effective and get on with things. The citizen panel was designed as a way of incorporating citizen participation in decisions affecting all residents of Edmonton. So what we've done is we've brought together 50 citizens, you saw them in the room on the video, from all walks of life, and they're spending 6 Saturdays learning about long-term budget priorities. I want to emphasize that word learning, that sure, people come to the citizen panel with opinions, but they're also going to try to create informed opinions by learning about the issues and having a dialogue with other people with whom they may agree on some occasions, but on other instances they may hear from people they don't agree with. So the panel will draft and confirm its conclusions in April, with City Council receiving and acting upon the conclusions in fall 2009. So this is for the 2010 and 11 budget. Council is the decision maker. This is not a delegated authority, but Council has agreed to seriously consider the panel's conclusions. So we have kept them up to date. They approved this process. So there's this link with impact, that people coming onto the panel have some expectation that in fact something's going to come out of the hard work that the citizen panel is doing. So the goals of the citizen panel project are to recommend how the city can invest its resources to create the city that citizens envision, And also we want to find out, is this citizen panel method a repeatable method, and can it be used in other instances for other decisions to gain informed citizen opinion? And I have talked with the other orders of government about possible applications of public deliberation to decision making there. So I have that cartoon at the top here. How will the issue be framed? We've got this $2 billion budget. How do you begin that discussion with citizens? So